Laugh out loud, it's the place to be, where geeky minds meet so naturally. From pixel legends to blockbuster heart, dive right in, let's set this vibe apart.
Laugh out loud, because this channel is enough, where Ben and Mike are bringing you the most awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, and we were actually doing continuation tonight on an episode that we did before. Unfortunately, Barrett couldn't make it for this continuation, so it's just going to be Ben and I. So we are doing a part 2 of the YouTube channels. So we're going to be doing our favorite YouTube channels again. So
last time we did it, we got a comment from DJ Slope over at Slope's Game Room. I wonder if anybody from Dispatch will be nice enough to stop by and say hi.
Yes.
So
we will find it out.
We will find out indeed.
So before we get into this though, we do have our little fun segment. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed. If you haven't, we've been a little busy this weekend. So we tossed up a whole bunch of videos. Hopefully you guys can check those out and find something you enjoy. And you can leave a comment. Because if you do, you might be entered into our segment. You speak, we regurgitate. And we've got a couple comments that we are going to read today. So I want to go ahead. You mind if I start with the first comment here, Ben? You got anything else to say before that, or want me to start?
Go right ahead. Let's do the comment.
This comment was left on the Sonic 3 review. It's from Patrick C. Of course, I'm hiding the full name. We don't want to give everything away because we want our commenters to have their privacy, even though, of course, you could go there and see what their name is anyway, but that's we're not doing it. YouTube is.
Yeah.
So Patrick C's comment on our Sonic the Hedgehog review. Why does a random person think he is a movie critic? Hell, even if he was, movie critics suck. Just be quiet and let people enjoy a movie. Now,
think of the time. They could have just done a thumbs down or just kept swiping, and they took the time to not only listen to the review, but then to write a comment about how much they hate reviewers.
Well, the thing is, I don't know which one of us is a problem to Patrick. Is it you who said you don't like Jim Carrey in this? Or is it me that said that the jokes fall flat? I don't know. Maybe it's
like we said it was a bad movie. We did recommend it. Well, I mean, we both gave it a thumbs up. So it's not like we went and said this movie's crap, don't watch it. It was just like, it's a great kids film. It's not for everybody.
But even so, is there a point in time anywhere where somebody has been like, oh, E.T., I love this movie. This movie's fantastic. Oh, this person says, like, oh, I can't watch it now. It's totally ruined now because this critic didn't like it. We're not stopping anyone from enjoying the movies. If you enjoy the movies, go enjoy the movies.
Also, like saying like, who made this guy a movie critic? I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that Siskel and Ebert went to like some certification class or something? Mm-hmm. What the hell? Anybody could be a movie critic. It's like,
on that, the saying, opinions are like assholes, and everyone's opinion stinks.
Yeah.
And the only reason why your opinion doesn't stink is because you can't bend over and smell your own. That's basically what it is.
Well, that's the first comment. Unless you got more to add to it.
Everyone go watch Sonic 3 because Ben and I gave it a thumbs up.
Yep.
So don't listen to Patrick C, who says it's now ruined. We gave it a thumbs up. Listen to us, evidently. We're the readers.
Yeah, you know what? Don't even listen to us. Just go enjoy the movie.
You don't even listen to anything. You know what? Turn Sonic 3 on mute. Just don't even listen to it.
Don't even listen to that.
Oh,
It's off. Turn everything off. Turn off everything.
So that's the first comment. Second comment. Second comment was left on Mars Attacks. This was by Jack, the Jackson man. We'll call him Jackson Man here. And I wanted to bring this one out. And his comment was, Pierce Brosnan and Dan DeVito are in this movie. Last time I saw this was when I was 11, so I might as well watch it again. And to that I say, awesome. I'm glad we're out here to help. Go enjoy the movie.
In it for like a split second. Pierce Brosnan's in it for a lot more, but somehow Danny DeVito got his name up, up there, the top there. He was like in the top 5, like before Natalie Portman, who's in like a good chunk of the movie. I don't know.
This is
agents.
This is the moment right here why we did all this, why this whole channel was created. This moment where this one person could realize they haven't seen this movie in so long, they have to go see it. We contributed to that. Our job is complete. Good news is we're going to keep going though.
For a moment like this. I don't know the rest of this one.
I don't even know that song. So you got more of it than I do. So I'm glad that we helped out. And I'm glad that we're good critics to this person.
Yes.
So there you go. There's You Speak, Regurgitate. I feel all better already. How about you, Ben?
I feel phenomenal. I had to get that off my get it off our chest there and get it out there, and they want it off of their chest, and here's our part letting it off of ours. I guess I don't know.
There you go.
We good your emptied our stomachs out. You feel better after you puke. So usually.
So we get to jump into our favorite YouTubers, part 2 tonight.
Yeah,
these are YouTube channels that we recommend checking out because we're great critics, and if we don't say that it's good, then you won't enjoy it. So these are ones we say are good.
Yep.
So you ready to get started here, Ben?
I'm ready.
All right, let's bring up the first one.
We're gonna take you back to the past with this one.
And go.
Cinemassacre. Now, Cinemassacre is actually the username is James Nintendo Nerd. It is the home of the Angry Video Game Nerd, one of Mike's absolute favorites. Sarcastically, he hates him. But how many other YouTubers have been able to take their character and turn it into a movie that people actually paid to watch? I don't know how much he made on it, if he made anything, but he didn't make enough where it, like, he had it in the theaters and he was selling it like on Amazon and stuff. Like, he actually got it distributed. I've seen it a couple times. It's not that great of a film. But it, it is what it is. It's all right, but it's not like, it's not Casablanca by any close resemblance at all. And this channel is just like, I've been watching it for years. I actually have the Angry Video Game like Blu-rays because it's just nice to me. It's kind of almost a comfort thing of just watching him complain about some of these games. He's still doing new ones. He's gotten older. He's going bald. At one point, I think that James Rolfe is the guy who plays the Angry Nerd. He was trying to expand out and do more, as he said, like right here, like, with BS and also the Neighbor Nerds, and he started doing movie reviews and some of that stuff. He still kind of keeps his foot in, which is why the channel's not called the Angry Video Game Nerd channel. It's called Cinemassacre. But he knows where his bread is buttered. Even though at one point there was a point where he felt like he lost the show lost its heart. He kind of got it back in the last couple of years. And this happens a lot with these shows that go on for a long time where they just kind of lose it for a while, but then they get it back. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that like he became a dad. So like, and this is his main source of income. So it's kind of like, well, I guess grin and bear it and do the best that I can so I can raise this kid type of thing. The responsibility kind of took precedence over, are you enjoying doing this anymore? It's not a horrible job, you know. He just makes these videos. It probably takes him a week to do one of them because there's a lot of shooting involved, and he's got to get the gameplay footage and do some research so he doesn't sound like an idiot when he says something, because, you know, people want to be in the comments section calling him dumb because you didn't mention the blah blah blah, or you said this and that's not true. And yeah, you want to avoid all that. Which I'll talk about a little later, was that really leans into another one of the channels I'll be talking about as well, about accuracy. But yeah, Mike, what are your thoughts on the Angry Video Game Nerd? I know you're not a fan.
How many channels does this guy have?
I think he has two. He has this one, and they have an overflow channel for like all the stuff that is not in the same vein as the rest of the videos on here.
So I thought the Angry Video Game Nerd was a separate channel. Is it not a separate channel than this?
No, it's always been Cinemassacre.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
His stuff gets reposted, so there might be someone who has an Angry Video Game Nerd channel that's reposting his stuff. But
yes,
see, by the way, these aren't like official reposters. It's people just download this video and they upload it and they collect it until YouTube catches them.
Yeah. Okay. See, I thought, okay, so I thought it was just like, because I wasn't really following channels. I was just kind of bouncing around when I saw his stuff, and just kind of bouncing around his videos when I saw his face. So I thought it was under just like Angry Video Game Nerd. So I learned.
Yes, like a lot of these YouTubers, they have an overflow channel that they post like the stuff that just really doesn't fit their main channel too much, and that's the only other thing he has, an overflow.
Gotcha. How long has he been doing this? Because he's been around for like forever.
I think he's been catching. I think if it isn't 20 years already, it'll be 20 years soon, because they're like on season 18 of the Angry Video Game Nerd, and every year is a new season. So like he does his seasons from January to December. So whatever happens with it, which within the calendar year, counts as a season. So yeah, he's like, yeah, season 18. He might be on season 19 now. But then again, I think he might have took a year off at one point too, so he might already be at 20 years. I know he's like he's one of the old school, like, granddaddies of them all type of things. He's led like, there's so many channels that are almost the same thing that were just launched off of this one. Like somebody took the idea and ran with it in their own direction, or blatantly copied him in some instances. Not going to talk about Chris Boers, but yeah, it's actually iRight Gamer. He's not horrible, but it's also not as good. It's like it's like, yeah.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd, but I do give him credit because I know that he's been doing this forever and has quite a big fan base. So I give him props for that. And just to know like he's still going, that's incredible.
Yeah.
You know, most things have a pretty small shelf life on YouTube. Once people lose interest, it's gone. But he's been doing it for so long.
He had a partnership when he first started with Game Trailers, I think. He ended up switching over to Screenwave, who he's with now. And Screenwave offered him like actual support and a production crew, which, because he was doing it was him and Mike Matei for years. So now he's got like all these other people who are part of the Screenwave crew who they help him make the videos. And at one point, and this is when you could tell that his heart wasn't fully in it, the Screenwave guys were doing most of the heavy lifting on the channel, like writing it. Like literally, he was just there to be on camera at some point, where like they were doing all the game footage, they were writing all the scripts, and you could tell because his voice isn't there. Even though he's the one saying it, it doesn't sound like he wrote it. And also, he doesn't feel like he's really into it. You know, the heart's not there. And I honestly do think it's like when his kids, I think he's got like 2 kids now, but like when he became a father, I think his heart came back to it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he has a family to raise. He has bills to pay. And it's like, either do this job that you're getting paid for and people want you to do and enjoy it, or go get a real job.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And he probably figured, you know what? I'll enjoy it. That's just, like I said, it's not a horrible thing to do. I could see why doing it for so long you can get a little bored doing it. You lose the heart in it, because it's like he never wanted this. This wasn't his plan.
Yeah.
plan was to make movies and have maybe a channel filled with characters that he would do or something, like not to just do the angry video game nerd for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he kind of also reinvents a channel by switching, not sticking to like video games, but because I encountered him when he was doing the board game stuff.
Yeah, you were a fan of Board James. You were a fan of that, and I at one point had the Blu-ray set for that, and Board James was great, especially once he started the long-term storytelling in it, and they had that season-wide story where everybody was dead except for him, and he's killed them all and all that. Sorry if I spoiled it for you, but there's 25 episodes. They've been out for 10 years. Go watch them. And that, yeah, the storytelling was good in that, and that gave me a lot of hopes for the movie. Because I'm figuring, like, if this is this good, I mean, the movie, you know, how good is that going to be? But the thing is, he's stuck being the nerd, and he has to follow the nerd character. And he could have done the thing where all of a sudden they have a musical number, or they do some weird thing that's out of character for him, but it's a movie, so they do it. Like, because I've seen that happen a lot of times where, like, a TV show becomes a movie, and all of a sudden they introduce stuff that's not really ever in the show, or it's never been in the show. Like I did it before they did it. All of a sudden they do a musical number. It's like, what the fuck was this a musical?
Yeah.
So you didn't do that. So granted, it did stay true to character in a lot of respects, but the movie could have been better. But you know, it is what it is. Like I said, with the Angry Video Game Nerd movie, if you go in expecting it to be the greatest movie you've ever seen, you're not going to be happy. But if you go in it as a fan of the character, you might enjoy parts of it.
Gotcha.
Mike, you wouldn't enjoy any of it, but.
Okay, well, you know, who knows? Who knows? All right, anything else to add for this one?
Nope, your turn.
Okay, so my first one that I'm doing tonight is actually interesting because it was actually the channel that kind of gave me this idea that said maybe we should do, you know, favorite YouTubers, but I didn't get it on the first one, because I think on the first one we were throwing out different, kind of as many different styles as we could. And this one fits into the music style. And that's this channel right here, which is Elise Ecklund, who I encountered her randomly, just one of her videos popping up of her, I think, buying cheap ukuleles on Amazon to try them out. And it was one of those I couldn't stop laughing because she does like a really great job on making her videos so much fun. And she has this personality that is just like, I don't know how to describe it other than like, you're kind of slamming into a wall, but it's still funny. I think one thing that I really like watching about her, she kind of reminds me of the personality that Maria has at times. So it's interesting to see like how kind of similar they are, but then also she has a different style where, you know, she gets a little more excited and kind of does these like goofy dances and stuff, and it's fun. And I think that she still does hold the record for the shortest song ever written, which she did in one of her episodes probably about, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, where she took, she found out what the shortest song was, which was by some like death metal group, and decided to kind of do her own version of it with her own lyrics. And it ended up being like less than a second and a half or something was the record. But I mean, it's crazy. Her videos are just crazy because they're not, you know, what you'd expect. For instance, just recently she did a short of like how to get your clothes clean faster, and the steps were to throw the clothes in the dryer first because they'll dry faster that way because they're already dry. And then when you throw them in the washer afterwards, you don't have to throw them in the dryer because they've already been through the dryer.
Oh, that makes sense.
So absolutely. So
That's all
we like that's kind of fun stuff that she does. So as you can see right here, her most recent one was also testing the crazy instruments from Amazon, which is what drew me to this channel, those types of videos. So if you're kind of just wanting to look for something just to kind of have fun and just be caught off guard as to what's going to be said, I really recommend going to her channel.
Cool.
Now, I will say that the hardest thing I think I've ever had to watch on her channel was a video where she poured water into her ukulele to play it. And my heart kind of went out to the ukulele. I hope the ukulele is okay. So, but I'm sure she knew what she was doing.
Our heart goes out to the ukulele family in their time of need.
Yes. It will be missed.
I love that she's got one where it says newborn baby and it says I survived 24 hours as a mother, and it's like she has this look on her face like she's just done.
Yeah, well,
like the idea of her sense of humor where she's just like, she obviously she loves her child and she's gonna be like play it off. I'm assuming she's gonna play it off like she's annoyed or something. Is that what she does?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and she's actually just a recent mom as well too.
Yeah.
So with her first kid.
Well, congratulations to her if she hears this. Cool.
All right, you ready for the next one? Your turn?
Yep.
There you go.
You hate paying for TV? I hate paying for TV. I gotta pay all these TV bills. They suck, man. I'm paying like $80 a month just for Hulu. Sucks.
I use the antenna, so I have no idea.
Well, if you use the antenna, then you probably don't need this guy too much. Cord Cutters News. This is a daily news show that comes out every morning. This guy he does a video where he talks about the news of the day involving streaming sites, anything to do with like if there's a new the new antenna standard that they're trying to promote. What they get next gen TV that they call it. He talks about that. He talks about how like a bunch of cable channels are going to be closing soon, and like there's news on that, or there's a merger. Like right here, it's 1/3 of all cable networks will shut down soon. And that one he talks about like how all these big companies like Paramount and Universal, which is Comcast, on all these other companies, they are spinning their cable channels off into new companies. And why are they doing that? That make them easier to get rid of.
Yeah.
And so like the reviews on the new Fire Stick review. He does like reviews on all these devices that come out. And it's really comes off as like a very it comes off as just like it's just him and his camera. Like he'll go on vacation and he'll still do updates from wherever he's on vacation at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just he's got good information. I've never seen him like he'll redact something if he got it wrong. So he's very trustworthy with his information. He's not very high energy. That's like one of my complaints. Like it's a little bit boring, but if you're just there to get the information, you'll get your information and you'll get it fast. Like his episodes are 10 minutes long. It'll give you all the stuff that happened in the world of tech news yesterday.
Gotcha. So is this just like on the tech side, like what's going on in the industry, or does he talk about like pricing and ways to save money?
Pricing and ways to save money. He does do a little bit of that. There's another channel I could have talked about where that's their main goal is that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he goes into a little bit of like if there's somebody's doing a sale, like Black Friday sales are for digital subscriptions. Black Friday is the best week to do everything. And he'll so if you watch him on Black Friday, he'll talk about all the Black Friday deals and what they're pushing and stuff like that. It's a good. Also, if you go to their website, you get even more news because it's all written in long form, and there's some stories they don't mention in the videos. And
gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So this would be good that more for like the tech, and if you're looking to get into it as to what's going to last. And if you should like if you're mentioning that all these cable companies are going to go bye-bye, I mean, that's going to help people realize that maybe not to jump on cable at this point and already start looking for alternate methods to watch stuff.
Yeah, like I have Hulu with live TV, and it's part of my agreement with my landlord that I pay for this. And one of the channels he likes to watch is Motor Trend. And I'm like, Motor Trend is probably on the chopping block. Because unless you're like, I jokingly went and said to him, like, well, because he watches it all the time. Is like, if you're one of the normal people, your channel will survive. If you're a weird person who watches this channel all the time and you're one of the only people who does, your channel is going to go away. And that's how it is right now because of streaming and everything. Like, not many people subscribe to a live television service anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, streaming is definitely going to be the way to go. Just watch it whenever you want to watch it.
Yeah, the only thing that's really holding on is like news and sports. And with sports, it's really just the NFL, really. I mean, yeah, there's baseball and hockey and all the other sports. I know that. But NFL is so much bigger. It's not even like close. The second closest one is the NBA. And it's like NBA is like a 20% of what the NFL makes.
And, hey, and there's also wrestling, the WCW.
WCW has been going for 20 years, but I
know what was it that you're talking about? WWE.
Yeah.
There you go. There's also that WWE, Ben. How'd you feel on that one?
Oh God, WWE is like all commercial now. Everything's sponsored by something.
So if you guys want to check it out, Ben uploaded a short just before this episode.
Just before we started recording, where I basically like I was gonna do a review of the wrestling show, and I don't even talk about what happened in the matches. I just talk because I'm distracted. I'm just distracted by all these ads. I look at the ads. I'm not even watching the wrestling and looking at the damn ads. And it's like they have stuff all over the ring rope. Well, not the ring ropes. They're not there yet, but they have it on the turnbuckles. They have it on the mat. It's on the walls. They have these video walls. It's all over the video walls. And they have it where whenever they go to a replay, the sponsorship is right there on the replay. And then they'll cut after every match. They cut to commercials. This is a pay-per-view. And they're cutting to commercials.
Yep.
And I'm like, what in the... I mean, the commercial thing is not really new. They've been doing it on Peacock for a while now, but the fact that not only is it a commercial during the commercials, there's commercials during the show. And the prediction, and I think they're right on the money with this, is eventually the wrestlers are going to have the promotions like all over their outfit.
Yeah.
Because that's where we're going with this. And it's like, it just sucks. Right. Vince McMahon kept stuff off the ring ropes or off the turnbuckles. He kept stuff off the mat. And, say what you will about Vince McMahon, I will say that him wanting to keep the ring itself clean of advertising, I agreed with that.
Okay, so I kind of derailed you. I'm sorry about that. So,
okay.
So back to cord cutters.
I was going to compare it to back when they had to blur everything, and all you could look at is the thing they're blurring. But they lost the rights to use the WWF logo, so they had to go back into their old footage and blur out the WWF logo. And when you're watching the old videos with the blurring, you only look at the blurs.
Well, then hopefully for you in the future, they'll lose the sponsorship of whoever it is showing up. So they'll have to blur all those advertisements.
I know.
So you just watch one big blur, like blobs moving around the screen. You can't even tell what it is at that point.
It's like they have it and it's sponsored by Joe's Steak Shop. And then they find out that the owner of Joe's Steak Shop, like, used to rape kids or something. And then they're like, oh shit, we have to remove all this advertisement from our old pay-per-view. Because people don't want us to associate with this guy's steak shop. It's like that's what's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen where they're gonna have some company up there and it's gonna be the next Enron. And they're gonna be like, shit, we don't want people to know that we used to be associated with Enron or whatever, and they're gonna have these issues where, yeah, you're right, they're gonna have to blur it out. They're already taking the music out because they only bought the rights to the music for that one night. They didn't buy it for perpetuity.
And for anyone tuning in right now in the middle of it, which, I mean, we're streaming, so probably not. I do want to specify that Cord Cutters News is not associated with Enron.
Yes.
If that's the connection that you're making right now. Because we kind of tangent pretty hard.
So let's go back to you're up next.
I'm up next. Hey, Ben. Have you ever gone to Japan?
I went to the Japanese airport.
Okay. Well, let me get you really prepared for your experience in Japan with Mrs. Eats. So So actually, now I think about it, I think that I sent you one of her videos. I don't know if you watched it or not. So Mrs. Eats, I believe I have a lot of props for this lady because one thing I believe she's actually in Osaka, which I'm all about Osaka. But what she does is she brings these videos about a lot of stuff where things are like one way in Japan versus another way in America, or just wild things that do go on in Japan, just to kind of for foreigners to kind of understand the differences. And she does it in a really funny way. And she actually, if you look here on one of the videos where it says Japan's creepy cure for shyness, that's her husband, and he also gets involved in some of the videos, and he makes them a lot of fun too. So some things she's brought, of course, since I've been to Japan many times, they're not surprising. I kind of know them, but still sometimes there's things that she mentions that I didn't know about. And it becomes something like she did one of locations that not many people know about. And it became something that like next trip I'm going to have to look up. I'm going to have to experience. So if you're curious about how different Japan is, and you want to learn about Japan, the differences in a fun way, I really recommend just checking our channel because it's pretty funny.
She's got a great username for somebody ever wants to make a channel about scalping tickets. Could it be Mr. Seat?
That worked as well too. I didn't think about that one.
Could I just saw like one of the videos that had like in bold and in all capital letters across her video. She put a water park on it, and it's just like Mr. Seats. You're gonna show me like the best ballpark seats at every stadium.
Well, I don't know if you can tell here, but if you go down to this one video that my mouse is under,
Yeah,
it'll say English words are actually curse words. What's the last word on that list?
Ben.
There you go. You are a bad word in Japan.
I'm a bad man.
All right, up to you. You ready for the next one? Boom.
So I was talking about Cinemassacre before, and one of the channels that I got led to from Cinemassacre and watching the Angry Video Game Nerd is when he did a crossover with Channel Awesome's own Nostalgia Critic.
Mm-hmm.
The Channel Awesome used to be a lot more than just the Nostalgia Critic. It used to have a lot of people were part of it, including Alison Pregler at one point, where she was a member of the Nostalgia Critic crew. And they had a whole blow up a couple years ago. If you look into it, it's kind of interesting to follow what happened to Channel Awesome. Mm-hmm. Apparently, this guy, Doug Walker, is a Nostalgia Critic. He created this character, but somehow signed the rights over to somebody else. And that somebody else owns the Channel Awesome name, owns the Channel Awesome channel, and apparently is a gigantic prick, according to what I've heard. I don't know for sure, never met the guy. And that led to, a mass exodus where they lost, like, Alison Pregler, as I said, she was part of it. She left. Another one was the girl who used to be the nostalgia chick, whose name is completely escaping me right now. She does book reviews, and movie reviews. The movie's based on books as well. What the hell is her name? I forgot it now. But they had all these great talent that was part of this channel, and they lost them. And the only person they held on to was the Nostalgia Critic, who was one of the founders of the channel. Mm-hmm. And now it's basically just his channel.
Gotcha.
If I can remember, what the heck was her name?
But he's not the guy, the Nostalgia Critic is not the guy that was the D-bag.
No, from all I heard, it was his partner. And his partner owns everything. So this must have been either Doug is insanely stupid, or this guy had the money, and Doug was that desperate to get this off the ground that he was willing to sign away the rights in order to make this happen.
Is the person you were thinking about their name, is it one of these listed on other awesome channels?
No, because they wouldn't list her.
Okay.
she's part of that group that owns Nebula. Let me go to Nebula. I went to Nebular. Oh, Nebula. Oh, okay. Nebula.com. They don't own that. Okay. Nebula streaming. I'm trying to remember what her name is, because it's one of those names, like a lot of people know her. This isn't helping me at all. I need a list of your creators. I can't remember even her first name. My brain's completely blank on who she is. It's one of those things, like once I see it, I'll be like, oh, that's her name.
Mhm.
Let's see here.
So he does like a lot of reviews then for movies.
The Nostalgia Critic, yes, he is known for doing movie reviews. Some of them are better than others. He's done a lot of the movies that we've reviewed. He did them first years ago. His production value has gotten so much better over the years, because it used to just be him in front of a camera talking to it. And there's still episodes where he does that. But now they have a whole crew, and they'll go and actually like remake some of the scenes from the movies, or they'll have stuff like scenes around their review where they're talking about like, oh, you need to review this movie, critic, because of this, and they'll like have some reason why he needs to review the movie. Or one of the movies, they actually ran into an issue where they couldn't get clearance for any of the footage, apparently. So they actually went and redid all the scenes that they wanted to talk about. They just reacted all of them, but like really badly. Like, because, they don't have anywhere near the budget that the movie theater at, or the movie studio at. So, it's kind of like the Be Kind Rewind.
Which one?
No, I'm talking about when they remake the scenes. It's like when that movie Be Kind Rewind, where they had to go like,
Oh yes.
yeah, that movie where they ruined all the videotapes and they had to go and re-record all the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of it ends up looking like that, but it's like, it's funny, and he's got a good crew. He's got a good troupe of actors. Like through all the years, people have said horrible stuff about Channel Awesome, and they threw him under the bus, not because he did anything, but because he didn't do anything. Like all this shit was happening and he didn't do anything. And that's what people are pissed at him about. And so but they've always had a good production value on his show. And also his show, like a lot of people were mad because his show always got like preferential treatment. But I'm like, well, he's also one of the co-founders of the channel. And so of course he's going to want to give himself the best deal. I'm trying to remember what that girl's name is still.
Oh, just let it go.
Yeah, I'll remember it later. Sorry, guys.
No problem at all.
But yeah, so if you want to watch some movie reviews, there's one of the channels you can check out. There's another one I'll be talking about a little later that you can check out as well for great movie reviews.
Which would be the BM show.
Oh, yeah, we do awesome movie reviews.
Yes.
Because we're certified. We are certified critics, just like the Nostalgia Critic is certified. We are also certified. I sat for the 8-hour class that they had at the local high school and got my certification in critology. Okay.
See, I wrote my master's.
Oh, see, yeah, Mike has his master's. I only have my bachelor's. So
there you go. All right. So for my next one, last time when I jumped into gaming, I talked about the JM Cross channel because he does a lot of stuff for 1-1 Fighters, which 1-1 Fighters is definitely one of my loves of gaming. There's also another genre that I really love in gaming. I think it's pretty obvious what the other genre is, but if you didn't know, it's going to be in the name of the next channel, which is this one here, which is Davidvinc RPGs.
Oh, sorry. I just got the name, Lindsay Ellis.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, go ahead.
So I've seen this guy's videos here and there, but recently I've been watching a whole lot more. And RPGs and gaming channels come basically a dime a dozen. The one thing I really like about his channel is that he started in RPGs around the same time that I started in RPGs. Most RPG fans, you ask them like, what's the first game that you ever played? Usually they're going to say something like Final Fantasy VII, or maybe something even more recent. But he's mentioned multiple times that the very first RPG that he ever played was Dragon Warrior way back on NES, and that's what's changed him into being a big RPG fan. And that's around the same time that I got into RPGs. Now, I went through Ultimate Exodus, which, I mean, I could pull rank and say, hey, that came out a few months before. It doesn't matter. Basically, it was around the same time, and he's played all the ones that basically he's played a whole bunch, but he'll mention ones, and I'll be like, yep, I played that too. And I don't always agree with what he says, but there's a lot of times that I agree with a lot of like the retro thoughts that he has. Like, for instance, I know he's not a fan of the whole characters that can do everything. Prefers a class type of RPGs, type of characters. And that's a big thing for me, is that I really like the class style of characters where you have their strengths, you have their weaknesses, you have them as a set role and how they're going to work and how that's going to play into your strategy, rather than having everyone do everything. But he is also still playing RPGs up until the modern day, which I'm not so big on modern RPGs now. But I really like his retro stuff, and it's awesome to see somebody who is so big on RPGs that they started so far back and they're still sticking with it and playing so many of these games. So, I mean, it's one of those that if you're into RPGs at all, I definitely recommend checking out, because I know you're going to find something on here you're going to dig.
Cool.
So there you go. So
Here we go.
ready for your next one?
Yes, sir.
All right. And boom.
I was talking before about these people with integrity, and they make sure that their facts are correct. And there's nobody who is more stingent on this, I think, in the YouTube verse for doing gaming documentaries than the gaming historian. Norm does amazing work. Sometimes it's sometimes it's a full year between his videos, but when they come out, they're always top notch. They're very well produced. Like, it's been a year ago since he did the story of the Oregon Trail, and that's his newest one. And like, it's got 1.2 million views.
Yeah.
And he just did an update recently where he was talking about how, like, he's kind of not planning to do this full time anymore. He's going to try to, like, he's still going to do videos, but they're going to be even more scattered because he's going to start working a regular job again. And but like, if you ever have an interest in the history of video gaming, specific topics in video gaming, if you like, he did videos like, yeah, the Sharp SF1, a Super Famicom built into a TV. I remember seeing the Nintendo that was built into the Sharp TVs here in this Kmart, at my local Kmart, and being amazed by that. And but they had like all these weird devices that came out over the years, and you review some of those. Like Homework First, there was a lock that you could put on your NES that would stop the door from closing, so you couldn't put a game into the machine. Of course, the other way you could have done it, you could have just took the power plug away, but whatever.
My parents would take away the controllers.
Mine just took the TV away.
See, which it really worked for me, because then I'd actually put in the games and just watch the demo.
Yep. It's really just an amazing website for getting reviews, or not even reviews. These are histories, the history of the game, how the game came together. Some of them, they're like an hour long. Some of them are like short. Like the story of Tetris is an hour long. He literally goes into like the whole thing of like how the guy in Russia came up with it, and the stuff he had to face dealing with this, not only the state, but trying to sell the rights off and all this other stuff, and how he had to buy back the rights to a game he created, because when in Soviet Russia, state owned everything. So, but yeah, definitely look at the story of the Oregon Trail. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's making like full length feature film pretty much out of these documentaries, and they're all high quality. He goes and he gets interviews. He double checks his information. If he's wrong on stuff, he literally will take the video down, fix the problem, and repost it.
Wow.
So yeah, he takes it seriously. Like if you hear something in a gaming historian video, you could take it to the bank that is what happened. That is fact. So
Wow, nice. I don't know if I've ever seen any of his videos. But yeah, this is, if I can budget some time, and like the story of Oregon Trail would be interesting because I have so many memories of trying to get to the Apple II computer way back at school just to actually play Oregon Trail, even though I know that I'm not going to get very far.
the one thing you got to worry about on the Oregon Trail is just don't make fun of Terry, because everybody dies from dysentery.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So all right. So next up, now we're going to a little bit of not really history, not a historian, but a lot of good facts. And that's gonna be Final Fantasy Union. So yeah, I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I think we made that pretty clear. But this channel, I don't know. I know they do have one voice. I don't know how many people are really running it, but they really go through the games and they find these elements of, like for instance, items that broke the game, worst abilities in every Final Fantasy. And they'll do these lists that are usually like, one game or one entry per game, but they're going to come up with these things about what's overpowered, what's underpowered, what's broken, what's problematic, what works really well. They really do their homework to figure out all this stuff. And they'll also do things like, here you've got like the evolution of all these classes and where they started and where they've gone to. So if you're a really big Final Fantasy fan, this is definitely a channel to check out to get a lot of facts on the games and maybe get some ideas on how to play them as well too. So
sounds good.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, so for you, here you go.
Got more gaming, this time on the hardware end. This is Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry, they run they're associated with Eurogaming magazine, I think. I don't know if they are the same company or just the same people who work both places, maybe. They are like, so if you want to know hardware wise how powerful the new Switch 2 is, these are the guys you want to go to. If you want to know, I want to get the new Hogwarts Legacy game on the Switch 2, this is going to be any better than it is on my Xbox Series S. They actually did a side-by-side comparison. And actually, if you can watch all these videos and you can learn which is the most powerful hardware, where they do all these tests, like what if there's a game that comes out on multiple systems, they literally will do side-by-side comparisons on all the systems. I learned about it from Grand Theft Auto 5 because they went and they did a side-by-side comparison of Grand Theft Auto 5 on every piece of hardware that it was out for at the time, which actually came out for systems after they'd done that. So they actually did an updated video where they showed the newer systems that it was on, how to compare it. And so like, if you wanted to get the best gaming machine hardware wise, this is the channel that you want to listen to. Also, they have a podcast of their own where they literally go through all the news in gaming, the massive Xbox cuts that happened in the past week. They talk about that a lot. I don't really listen to their podcast. I listen to the clips from the podcast, but it's very interesting. They're all from different parts of the world. Like Richard Ledbetter is he's the editing director or like an editing producer. Like he's the top guy there basically. And then you got John Linneman. He's an American who lives in Germany. And I don't forget who the other guy is, but those are the three main guys. And then there's like a bunch of other people who come in and out. And like I said, I think they are associated with Eurogaming magazine. in some respects. So I think it's a lot of the editors and writers from that are part of this channel. I think. I don't know for sure. That's why I'm like putting that asterisk on it. But I think like Richard Ledbetter, I think he is one of the guys from Eurogaming. So.
I already see a video that I find interesting on this channel, which is a Switch 2 versus Steam Deck using Cyberpunk 2077. I'm curious to see how the Switch 2 stacks up against the Steam Deck.
Exactly. That's what this channel is for.
Oh.
Or for me. Like that's how I look at it. Like they, they're comparing comparing the GameCube original hardware to the emulator on the Switch 2. Or when the Xbox Series S and Series X came out, how are they compared to each other, and how does it compare to a PlayStation 5? The stuff like that. That's what they would do.
That's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it's very geeky. It's also a great place if you want to learn about video cards too, because like PC gaming and stuff, they'll compare different video cards. They're not like, it's not like going to Consumer Reports or something like that. Like that, they'll have like their bend on it. Like they're not like they're not gonna go and say like they'll show like frame rates and who can do the most frame rates at the highest resolution. They're not going to go into this one has so many CUDA cores versus this other one that has so many CUDA cores. It's actually like, how does it work when you're actually using the damn thing? Because what the F is a CUDA core? I know what it is, but most people don't.
I noticed also they have developer interviews. So they're actually interviewing the developers, talking about their games and stuff.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's a really good channel.
Huh. Okay, so now we're on our doubles. So I do have one that's actually 2 channels because they're sister channels that I want to talk about. So we're still sticking on games, and that would be Outside Xbox, which is another kind of like when I was talking about the Final Fantasy Union channel, how they know all this stuff about Final Fantasy and they're going to tell you, the goods and the bads. This is more, all types of games, but they do it in a very comical way. So you can tell they're having a whole bunch of fun doing these videos, and they'll come up with these ideas, like the best things or the worst things, or the times you really shot yourself in the foot, or the things you shouldn't ever do in a game. And they'll usually have, I think they're normally, as you can see, it's like 7 is usually the amount of games that they'll list in each episode. And they do have a sister channel, which is Outside Xtra, which is basically the same thing, but it technically has different hosts on it. However, the two still kind of mix together. So it's kind of just like one big channel together.
Yeah, that's like how Cinemassacre has Cinemassacre Extras, which is their overflow. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, if you want to see like, 7 ways that you got the worst weapon at the beginning of the game thinking you're going to get the best, and you want to have fun while watching it and laugh about it, these 2 are definitely the channel to check out.
I've seen them before. I've watched a few of their videos. They have I like the way they present it.
Yes, you can tell they're having a blast with it.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. And now on to my double.
Yep.
The Simpsons Theory. Also, Lydia Loves Timelines. Both very similar channels. One is just about The Simpsons, and she will go through these things where like she does the kill counts for all the Treehouse of Horror episodes, or the complete timeline for Bart Simpson's life, or Ned Flanders for that instance, or there's that. I mean, we know that Ned Flanders is one of the neighbors for The Simpsons, but who lives on the other side? Who lives in the other house? She did a whole episode about that. It's all about these deep dives into very geeky questions that one might have about the longest running animated scripted television. Well, actually, they're all scripted. The longest animated television show in history.
And then up to date as well too. So she's still watching the episodes currently.
Dude, she's in one of them.
Okay. There you go.
They did an episode called Lisa the Boy Scout, and there's these two hackers who break into the servers, and the hackers are literally based on her and her husband. And she said that she knows this for a fact because she actually, her and her husband, they went to Los Angeles at one point, and they actually got a chance to interview some of the writers from The Simpsons because they're that big of Simpsons fans. And some of the stuff they mentioned in that meeting made it to this episode. And yeah, so she's like 100% convinced that her and her husband were animated into one of the episodes, but they made her American, where she and her husband are both British.
Yeah, gotcha.
But that was the only difference, that her character, that they made her character American, but it's the same, like this, you can see this avatar of her. It was the same avatar.
Okay. But was the avatar before the Simpsons episode?
Oh yeah, I think she's been, I've only gotten to know her in the last year, but you know, I think that she's been around long enough for the writers to have caught on to what she's doing. She's been around for a while. She's written 2 books, both about the Simpsons. So that's why she has 2 channels, and one of them is just about the Simpsons, and the other one, Lydia Loves Timelines, same girl, but this is where she talks about other shows like South Park, Family Guy. It's all animated stuff. She and then you know, so they're talking about American Dad and all these other shows. So if you like your adult-based animation, domination, Fox-based animation shows, if you like those type of shows, stuff that's on Adult Swim, and you want to deep dive into it and learn more about it, you can check out Lydia and her channels here, and you can see like they have timelines. They go through the history of the characters, and it's just interesting stuff. But she goes along with like other channels like Johnny Two Cellos, which does a lot of the same kind of content. I didn't want to go through listing them all, so this is like the you know, I figured she has 2 channels that are about the same thing, just different shows. Yeah, very interesting. What's up?
I wonder how many times, like, because I'm sure that the creators of these like Family Guy and South Park have to know about this. So I wonder if she's in communication with them frequently to get a lot.
She showed up in a Simpsons episode, so
Yeah, tell me that one.
Yeah, I think that they do know about her. Like I told you, when in WWE had an entire department that was literally devoted to just keeping track of all mentions online, including social media mentions. So you don't think that Fox or these studios that make, like, you don't think these studios have the same thing? Of course they do. They know about her. They probably know about us by now. Probably not. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Of course, everybody knows about us now.
But yeah, those are definitely channels to check out if you like your grown-up cartoons. I keep wanting to say adult cartoons, but then it makes it sound like it's porn.
It kind of does.
Yeah, so grown up, more mature, but that makes it sound like porn too. Rated PG-13.
Just let it go. We all know what you're talking about now.
For the cartoons you wouldn't show to kiddos. Oh, and that's already porn too. Damn it. Everything I say sounds like porn.
Yeah, you can't win.
If you like Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, and South Park, which I like at least 2 of those shows. No, actually, I like Family Guy, South Park, and the Simpsons. So that's why I got to do it. I like hearing what she has to say about it. She does all this research, so I don't have to.
Exactly. Well, since we're on the subject of research, Ben,
yep,
we're going to talk about something that, if I would have hit you with this probably, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, you would have probably been down for this. Now I know you're really not, but this is a channel that I've actually really started to like a lot. And that's Ploopy678. And Ploopy678 is kind of like the same thing that you're just talking about with this lady with the Simpsons, but she does it with K-pop and the K industry. And there's a few things that she does. She does do dance videos where she's like rating dances and so forth. For me, that's really not something that I'm into. But when she gets into like the stories of how things go on and how things happen in the K-pop industry. She does a whole bunch of research, and she's really serious about this. And it's interesting because we know like K dramas, and it's interesting to actually see how that whole industry is kind of basically a K drama. So since it's not your thing, I was.
Well, it's interesting that I'm looking at it because I don't mind somebody who like researches and like learns like so I could learn more about that industry because a lot of it's all over entertainment in some respects.
You know, now you mention it, she does have stuff about AOA and the fall of AOA that might be something that you're interested in seeing. So yeah, check it out. Usually her videos like 20 minutes or so, but she does, I think if you do the Patreon, she takes all the notes for everything that she researched and uploads them there, so you can go through them if you want to. But yes, she's super serious about it and does a super good job with each video she does.
Cool. Very good.
All right, here comes your next one.
Support Wrestletalk. Give us a subscribe. Give us a subscribe. And then you can go look at them and maybe subscribe to them too. Wrestletalk is a daily wrestling news program. They do a lot more than that too, but that's mostly what I use it for. Every morning, they're based in England, so their morning starts a lot sooner than mine. I can wake up and know that there's going to be a video waiting for me from Wrestletalk talking about whatever happened on wrestling last night. And they're British guys. They seem like a good group of guys. There's a lot of British-based wrestling news channels, and I've checked out probably all of them, from Cultaholic to what's Cultaholic, like it's not that one was like a split off from like another one, and one of them used to own a wrestling company. And there's so many. There's like 3 or 4 of them out there, and they're all major, and they all know each other. Not like they're strangers to each other. But Wrestletalk is the one that I pay attention to. They're the ones who I kind of vibe with their humor. I get, I have the most fun watching these guys, and they all say the same stuff anyway. So yeah, it's definitely worth watching if you want to get like what happened on the pay-per-views that happened this weekend. This weekend was stuff with pay-per-views. AEW had their biggest show of the year, so of course WWE posted 2 shows the same weekend. Actually, 3 shows the same weekend at the same times, trying to cut into AEW's audience, and these guys will tell you how did that work out for them. It's just like fun. They have fun with it. They do a lot of these side things where they have Parts of Fun Known is another channel that they run where they'll do like video games, but it's all wrestling based. So like they'll do video games, they'll do movie reviews, stuff like that. They have their own podcast as well where it's more long form. And keep going down. I want to see what the channels were. Is further down.
That's as far as it goes.
Oh, I can't see the bottom.
Oh, you can't.
Russell Crimes. I'm trying to see.
Okay. You want to know what the
channel? My time for it. But yeah, that's like I said, I watch them almost daily. Even like this is how I keep track of what's going on in wrestling right now. I don't watch it myself. I let them watch it and tell me what happened.
Except for just recently, but
well, that's because I watch the pay-per-views because I have Peacock. I don't have Netflix.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to pay $17 a month for Netflix to watch wrestling. I'm sorry, but I pay $20 for the year for Peacock, and I will gladly go and watch it over there because it's like I already paid for it.
Understood. Yep.
Also, like I'm not that into wrestling that much anymore. It's just kind of lost. Like I was in it for this whole thing of Vince McMahon leaving and the new regime coming in, and what are they going to do? And now that I see what they've done, I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you. I'll be heading out now.
All right. So my next one is for Music is Win. And what I find really interesting about this channel is this guy has a whole bunch of fun with what he does. When I first started watching it, he looked like just kind of the guy that you just kind of hang out with, and then all of a sudden he picks up guitar and he just shreds on guitar. This guy's exceptional. And his videos are just, they're funny, they're fun, they're enjoyable to watch. It's not really like something that you're gonna go for like lessons on how to do things, but more that you just want to relax and see some crazy stuff on guitar, see some things that he's showing. And he actually, I just put up a video recently where you can see it here with the guitar playing just keeps getting crazier, which he pulls a bunch of exceptional guitarists and shows their videos, and a few of them he actually goes to recreate them, and he's pretty much nailing what they're doing because he's so good at what he does. And he also is somebody who's against like, oh, I played this bad sour note here on this take, so I'm just going to go ahead and edit it behind the scenes and put a better, make it sound better. He's more of, he wants to do it basically on the spot and not do like all these takes where he's editing the takes just to make it sound good. So he is like just like a legit guitar player. And I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitate towards his video, is because he's just genuine in his love for what he does and wanting to make it sound right and do the right thing. And also have a good fun time doing it. So it's not something I watch for like being bogged down with technique or theory or anything like that. It's more something that I can just sit back and relax and just enjoy watching for fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. And then on to, I believe, your last choice.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
I've mentioned a couple times on this show, my inspiration for how I put our little movie review videos together, a lot of it comes from these guys. This is Mr. Sunday Movies. They do a weekly podcast. Their weekly podcast is called The Weekly Planet. And they do, and one of the segments on there is called Caravan of Garbage. And Caravan of Garbage, they named it that because they used to do only bad movies, but now they do all kinds of movies, but the name stuck. And they do movie reviews. Theirs are like 26 minutes long, and it's got clips throughout the entire thing, so it's a lot more of a production than ours are, because it's me and Mike. That's all we got here. They actually they farm their stuff out, and they actually have editors who they pay to do all this work. So they have a much higher production value, obviously. And it's one of my favorite shows. I watch it every single week. It's these two guys. They're two friends from Australia, and they get together every week. Like I said, they do their Weekly Planet podcast, and this is the part of the podcast they pull out and make a video out of, and I watch it. Like, I think it's every Thursday it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I can watch it every Monday if I subscribe to their site, which I don't.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own channel. They have their own website too. They don't do Patreon. They do bigsandwich.com, and there you get like for $9 a month, you can get them and like a bunch of other podcasts. And like I said, I don't pay for it.
Well, I can give them props right now because I'm seeing ranking every Marvel universe in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be talking really fast.
Or they just don't cover everything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they mean by a tier list, but if they're covering everything, that's talking really fast. That's
they're talking about the universe. So maybe they're talking about the different Marvel universes, like, because there's I think what that one would be like how Fox had their movies, and then there's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then there's like Sony did their Spider-Man movies, so they're all different, quote unquote, universes.
There's still a lot of universes in 20 minutes, man. That's tight.
And like, I mean, Smallville, they did Smallville in 26 minutes. That no way covered all that. In fact, they even mentioned it in the review that they're leaving a lot of stuff not covered in Smallville because they want to revisit it in a future episode. It's actually the second time they talk about Smallville. They were doing they did a series of episodes about all the times that Superman had a TV show. And they just reviewed all the different TV shows that were Superman, not like he's part of it, not like the Justice League. I mean, like an actual Superman live action TV show. And that so far has been The Adventures of Superman, Lois and Clark, and Smallville.
Gotcha. I'm seeing How Bad Is It, the Minecraft movie. You know, that came out and like I haven't heard anything about it. It just like came out and no one said anything. We just kind of let that one go.
Well, that was the one where people were like ruining the movie theater every time this one scene came up that had to do with some character from the game showing up. And I'm like, I would be completely confused. I don't know anything about Minecraft or any of that stuff. I don't know anything. I completely purposely missed the boat on it. I think I have a copy of it on one of my systems, but I don't touch it because I don't care. It's like, oh, you can make stuff. And there's a lot of games where you can make stuff. It's called SimCity. It's been out for years.
See, I thought it was just forgotten about. Like the movie came out, it was just
No, it did very well. It did very well. It was like the number one movie in the country for a minute.
I didn't even know that. I don't even know when it came out.
Exactly. Because we're not in the loop. These aren't movies for us.
Yeah.
When movies for us, we would know about it.
Yeah. Well, I just think of it, it's a gaming movie, so I should have like a little bit of knowledge as to when it comes out, but it's just all of a sudden it's out. I didn't even know.
It flew under your radar.
Yep. I guess that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to the last couple together. Just as kind of just to let you know where I kind of get my information from here. So you probably all saw this one coming, but we'll start off with the official BINI channel. No surprise there. A lot of the stuff I find comes from here. The other channel that I wanted to plug really quick is the BAND-MAID channel. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, so if you're wondering where I get a lot of this blooming news from, it kind of sparked from the BINI channel and then just things popping up through their official page. The BAND-MAID channel is a little less active because BAND-MAID's not popping stuff out as fast.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll find out with like a lot of these Asian groups, the longer they're around, the less they do.
Yeah. So there you go. I think that that covers all of the YouTube videos for this time. I don't know if we're going to have a part 3 at all, if we need a part 3. You know,
We got more I could do. It's just getting like the list is going to be smaller, but there's stuff I haven't mentioned here, or I did mention it in passing, but I can go and like further go into it. Like, but yeah, there's always more.
Yeah, well, we can always put that on the back burner, and if we notice that we do have a list that's growing, you know, plan on doing a part 3 to this. Until then, we have lots of movies to review.
Yeah, Mike, what is coming up with what's Billboard next week? What's next week going to be?
Next week is going to be our general theme comedies. So we will be reviewing Three Amigos, we will be reviewing Top Secret, and we will be reviewing just the first one, but The Naked Gun.
The original Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad.
Exactly. So we're covering a comedy that's a comedy of Western. We're reviewing a comedy of kind of war and spy espionage type stuff, and then we're also reviewing a cop drama comedy, if that would be the right way to say it. So,
and that'll be next week, so look forward to that. I have to watch all 3 of these movies. I haven't watched any of. I mean, I watched Naked Gun before, and Three Amigos I've seen that too, like years ago, but I've never seen Top Secret. So I'll have to watch all 3 of them, 2 of them again, and 1 for the first time.
I can pretty much quote them. So I don't know if that's going to affect my thumb on what I choose, but we'll find out.
We will find out. So I think I hear that theme music coming up on the background there, which means that time to bring us home.
Yep. So one of us gets the last word.
So you want it?
I will take the last word.
Okay.
Ploopy.